Have you ever wondered how some companies navigate the complex world of compliance with effortless grace, while others stumble and fall? It's not magic, it's strategic brilliance. Today, we're diving deep into BAMLCO's real-world success stories, revealing how their innovative approaches turned potential pitfalls into massive wins. Get ready to uncover the secrets that could safeguard your own business. Compliance. For many, the word alone brings on a headache. It's often seen as this giant, confusing maze of rules and regulations, a necessary evil that drains resources and slows everything down. But what if I told you that's the wrong way to look at it? What if compliance isn't just a box to tick, but a powerful tool for growth, reputation, and even profitability? That's exactly the shift in perspective we're exploring today. We're moving beyond theory and getting into the real-world trenches. We'll be looking at actual companies, facing actual challenges, and seeing how partnering with BAMLCO didn't just help them avoid trouble, it propelled them forward. These aren't just stories. They're blueprints for success. So let's start with our first case study. A rapidly growing fintech startup. Let's call them Finovate. Finovate had an incredible product and was scaling at lightning speed. But with rapid growth comes rapid risk. They were expanding into new markets, each with its own unique and complex set of financial regulations. The team was brilliant at tech, but they were stretched thin, and the sheer volume of compliance requirements was becoming overwhelming. They were facing a classic growth paradox. The very thing that made them successful was also putting them at immense risk of fines, sanctions, and reputational damage that could sink the entire company. They were worried. A single misstep in anti-money laundering protocols or data privacy laws could be catastrophic. The leadership knew they needed help, but they were hesitant. Would bringing in consultants slow them down? Would it be a massive, inflexible expense? This is where BAMLCO came in. Instead of just handing them a 1,000-page manual of rules, BAMLCO started by listening. They took the time to understand Finovate's unique business model, their growth trajectory, and their specific pain points. The solution wasn't a one-size-fits-all checklist. It was a tailored, dynamic compliance framework. BAMLCO helped them implement cutting-edge regulatory technology or RegTech that automated many of the most tedious monitoring and reporting tasks. This freed up Finovate's team to focus on what they do best, innovating. BAMLCO also conducted targeted training sessions, empowering Finovate's own staff to become their first line of defense. It wasn't about outsourcing compliance. It was about building a culture of compliance from within. What was the result? It was incredible. Not only did Finovate confidently launch in 3 new international markets, fully compliant from day one, but their new, streamlined processes actually improved their operational efficiency. Investors were impressed by their robust governance structure, which made securing the next round of funding much easier. And the best part? By demonstrating such a strong commitment to ethical practices, they built deeper trust with their customers. Finovate didn't just avoid penalties. They turned compliance into a competitive advantage that fueled their growth. This story is a powerful reminder that proactive compliance isn't a cost center. It's an investment in sustainable success. Now, let's pivot from the fast-paced world of fintech to a more traditional sector, manufacturing. Meet Legacy Manufacturing, a family-owned company with a 100-year history. They were proud of their heritage, but their compliance systems were, to put it mildly, stuck in the past. Everything was paper-based. Audits were a nightmare of digging through dusty file cabinets. As international trade laws and environmental standards became stricter, their old methods just couldn't keep up. They had a close call during a customs audit that highlighted just how vulnerable they were. The risk of supply chain disruptions, hefty fines, and damage to their long-standing brand was very real. They needed to modernize, but the prospect of a complete digital transformation was daunting for their established workforce. This is a challenge many established companies face. How do you embrace the new without alienating the people who built the company? BAMLCO's approach here was all about empathy and phased implementation. They didn't just come in and demand a complete overhaul overnight. First, they worked alongside Legacy's team to map out every single process. They identified the biggest risks and the easiest wins. The solution was a gradual rollout of a new, user-friendly digital compliance management system. The key was the training. BAMLCO didn't just provide a software manual. They held hands-on workshops, creating champions within the company who could then support their colleagues. They showed the team how the new system wasn't about replacing them, but empowering them. Instead of spending weeks preparing for an audit, they could now generate a report with a few clicks. Instead of manually tracking shipments and tariffs, the system flagged potential issues in real time. The transformation was remarkable. Legacy Manufacturing's audit preparation time was reduced by over 80%. Their cross-border shipping errors dropped to nearly zero, saving them a significant amount of money. But the most important change was cultural. The employees felt more secure and in control. The leadership could now make strategic decisions based on clean, real-time data. They preserved their 100-year legacy by embracing the future, ensuring they would be around for another 100 years. They stopped fearing audits and started seeing them as an opportunity to showcase their excellence. What do these two very different stories, a nimble startup and an established manufacturer, have in common? They both realized that you can't outgrow or ignore compliance, and they both found a partner in BAMLCO that provided not just expertise, but a strategic, tailored solution that fit their unique DNA. Let's look at one more angle, the healthcare sector. This is an industry where compliance is literally a matter of life and death, and patient data privacy is paramount. We worked with a mid-sized hospital network, let's call them Healthwell, that was struggling to keep up with the constantly evolving HIPAA regulations and other healthcare mandates. They had dedicated staff, but the rules were changing so fast, and the threat of data breaches was a constant source of anxiety. A single breach could lead to millions in fines and, more importantly, a complete erosion of patient trust. Their existing system was a patchwork of different software and manual checklists. It was inefficient and prone to human error. They knew they were exposed, but the cost and complexity of a comprehensive solution seemed prohibitive. They needed a lifeline. BAMLCO's team, which includes specialists with deep experience in healthcare compliance, conducted a thorough risk assessment. They pinpointed the exact vulnerabilities in Healthwell's systems and workflows. The solution was multifaceted. BAMLCO helped them implement an integrated security and compliance platform that provided a single source of truth. It automated risk assessments, managed policies, and tracked employee training all in one place. Crucially, BAMLCO also ran simulated phishing attacks and other ethical hacking exercises. This wasn't about catching people out. It was about building a vigilant, security-conscious culture in a safe environment. It trained the hospital staff to recognize real-world threats before they could do any damage. The peace of mind this brought to the hospital's leadership was immeasurable. They successfully passed their next two major audits with no major findings. More importantly, they created a secure environment for their patient data, reinforcing their reputation as a trusted healthcare provider in their community. They went from being reactive and fearful to proactive and confident. By investing in a robust compliance framework, they protected their patients, their staff, and their entire organization. So, Finovate, Legacy Manufacturing, and Healthwell. 3 different industries, 3 different sets of challenges, but one common thread: a strategic approach to compliance transformed their businesses for the better. They stopped seeing it as a burden and started viewing it as their greatest asset. They didn't just meet standards, they set new ones. They avoided costly penalties, yes, but they also boosted their bottom line, strengthened their brand, and built a foundation for future growth. These stories show us that the right compliance partner does more than just check boxes. They become an extension of your team, providing the strategic guidance and practical tools you need to turn regulatory challenges into competitive advantages. It's about building resilience, fostering trust, and unlocking potential you might not even realize you have. The world of compliance will only get more complex. But as these case studies demonstrate, with the right strategy and the right partner, it doesn't have to be a source of stress. It can be your secret weapon. Thanks so much for watching. If you found these presentations insightful, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. We share content like this all the time to help you navigate the business world with confidence. Let us know in the comments which case study resonated with you the most. See you in the next video with a new topic.